everybody. Here we are back. Episode 17. I mean, well, 17. Two of us are back. Two of us are back. Stacy.
Absent on the intro again. Where is he?
We seriously need to get another. Maybe we need to have like a rotating chair or have a fill-in, a standby. Maybe we got to do interviews. What do you think?
He's naughty.
He's naughty. Interviews. I mean, where, Anthony, where are you? Come on,
seriously,
Anthony.
dude.
Come on, dude.
Where are you?
Come to the show. Oh, Anthony. Yes. Everybody,
yes.
Anthony just flew in, and boy, are his arms tired.
Oh my God. Wow, that's harsh. That is harsh. But yes.
What the hell, man? Where have you been?
Well, duty calls. Duty calls. I was abducted by aliens last week.
Did you have to make in the bathroom? You had to go poo-poo?
Yeah, to make the duty. Man, I was abducted by aliens. Isn't that what?
Oh, that's the story we were going with.
Wasn't that the story?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, no, we were goofing on everyone.
Well,
full transparency, though.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the Rocky Files. Full transparency. Last week, work did take over. Like you know, the real job, the one that pays the bills.
Yeah.
That one took over. That was. Speaking of duty, that was a poop show last week.
Was it really?
There was no easy way out of that one. I'll tell you.
Yeah, right.
There was no easy way out of that one. I was stuck. That was it. But you guys took over. What a great job!
I'll tell you what, we were a little nervous. I
was kind of nervous.
Same, Anthony.
I was nervous. I was watching the intro and I was like, I don't know. Maybe they don't need me so much.
No.
Maybe they don't need me so much, not either, you know. So I was worried.
Would you mind showing up on time very much?
Great job. Yeah. You guys killed it. But hey, we're here. We're all back together again. What's going on?
Well, I'll tell you what, this has been, it's been a very busy week. I know for a lot of us, we had a few days ago was Thanksgiving. So that was all good. You guys had fun. Well, not so much in Canada, but Stacy, how was your Thanksgiving?
Okay. It was fine. It was great.
Good.
We were going to have 4 people. We ended up with 7 at last minute, but it was fun. So
nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
How was yours, Mike? How was it? Before I ask questions about American Thanksgiving, how was yours?
I thought my turkey came out slightly on the drier side. I think I might have left it in about 15 minutes too long. It was really good, but it didn't retain its moisture like last year. So now like it's really dry except the dark meat. So but I do have my mother's kielbasa and her mashed potatoes that she made. And my brother made this incredible Brussels sprout dish with eggs. It's just amazing. Wow. Oh yeah. It's great.
Superb.
But you have a question about Thanksgiving?
I always wonder how you guys feel. I always say this. How do you guys feel about your Thanksgivings being so close to Christmas? Ours is in October. Ours is like the first week of October. So we get this like, you know, from October to December. There's a break, right? There's a break. How do you feel about being so like back to back?
I hosted.
You don't even think about it.
We're in a little apartment now, so we sold our house. And so for 9 years.
I can't believe you hosted.
Hey, we were a great host, buddy. Anyway,
no,
so we hosted
because of the size.
Space-wise.
Space-wise.
Yeah.
I thought you were insulting my cooking skills, but anyway.
I grew up in a condo. You could do amazing things with space. It's crazy.
Well, we decided to sell the house while the market was hot, so that's what we did, and so we did real well on the house. So, but the best part about that, it was like, hey, we host 12 to 15 people every year, every Thanksgiving and every Christmas for 9 years. So that's 18 plus a few Easters here and there. So I was like, sorry guys, too small this year. And
perfect excuse. Perfect excuse.
Yeah.
But I just feel like you guys are in Christmas mode, and then you gotta like go to Thanksgiving mode and then get back to Christmas mode.
I love it because for me it's always been the kickoff for the Christmas holiday. Because Thanksgiving, I mean, I don't know, pilgrims and all that's very far removed for us. I do believe the majority of us do give thanks for all the things, but I mean a lot
different
of
things. Different.
But we do give thanks daily, but I do think, giving thanks on a particular day is great. But for me, it really begins like 2 days before Thanksgiving begins the holiday kickoff for me. And I'm just raring to go, and knowing that the Christmas
you're raring to go at Halloween.
Yeah.
You're talking about Christmas and Halloween.
Actually, the 4th of July, I'm ready to go for Christmas.
Yeah, I use American Thanksgiving as the kickoff too. Like once American Thanksgiving comes around, it's like, okay, now full on Christmas music's in the car. Right. Like, let's go.
It's too close. I would prefer September if I had to pick. Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah, that's why October is good. We like October, but that's great. I'm glad it went well. But yeah, a lot of busyness. It's a busy time, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Things just in time for the new Omicron, COVID, or whatever the hell they're calling it now.
Right.
We got to worry about that coming.
Wow. Right. There's something new.
And thank God, it just constant. Let's just hope people use a little more common sense this time around. It'll probably be all right.
Well, we'll see. We're gonna see, but
I've got this
something.
International tour coming in February with a bunch of like 20 some people, and they're gonna spend a few days in Philly. Yeah, it's in February, and so it's been postponed about 10 times. So I hope it gets.
Well, we got to see how this thing acts now. Right? That's what it's all about. But
I know
it's Omicron. Is that what it was? Omicron, not Omicron. Omicron.
It's not Omicron. It's
Omicron.
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 Yeah.
Omicron. Yeah, that's it. You're right.
I think that's the new home office. Omicron.
You know what? I think. Wait a minute, Stacy.
In a way, it's related.
I think Anthony has brought back some news. We now have a new a new location finally, and this place looks to be like our final stay.
Yeah, this place is funky. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's funky. And Stacy, what is the name of our new place?
It's called Funk, Nebraska.
Funk,
Nebraska. Boy, I gotta move.
You gotta move. This is our favorite one now, right?
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, this is the one. Yeah. Oh, hey.
What is that? The old tidal wave?
Yeah.
That is the old Debbie Gibson 1980s.
Is that what that was?
Oh, is that what it's from?
Man. This is like getting busy. Wow.
I remember it from a long time ago.
Well, I hope we stay at Funk, Nebraska, because this gives us a lot of energy. And I think we're going to need a lot of energy on this podcast because Stacy, you and I have a big chore ahead of us.
Yeah, yes. You guys do.
You're
going at it again.
It's been brought to my attention that some people like hearing excerpts from Cue the Rocky music. Thank you, Anthony. So I
many fans too.
I've been getting online. A lot of people ask me, what was it like the very first time you met Sylvester Stallone? And I mean, I could give you a very abbreviated version of that, but I thought, why don't we read a little bit? So it's a couple of pages, and I thought before we bring our guest in, Mr. Robert Loggia, you'll all understand that in a little bit.
In just a moment, he's going to explain that.
We have Loggia today.
But Robert Loggia coming in. I thought maybe Stacy and I might kick it all off. So if 100%. You'll give us a little patience and indulge us a little bit here.
Story time with the Rocky Files.
Story time with the Rocky Files. So the name of this chapter is titled Planet Hollywood. And here we go. I'm going to start off a little bit in the chapter.
Take it away, guys.
All right. The first time I saw Sylvester Stallone in public was Sunday, March 19th, 1995 in Atlantic City. It was a 2-for-1 deal. I also got to shake Arnold's hand. Yes, that Arnold, the Governor. 2 bus seats opened up accidentally on a trip to Atlantic City with my family for me and Sue. Although an excursion we made dozens of times, none would equal this one. The excitement started as we got off the AC Expressway and came face to face with Caesars Casino's neon-lit billboard, complete with flashing lights and white background that read, Caesars welcomed Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger to Planet Hollywood. Planet Hollywood was the movie-themed restaurant chain both men had a stake in that I nicknamed PH. There was no date nor time listed on the sign. What the hell does that mean? I said with my face pressed against the side of the window of the bus. Can't be. No way, Dad said. Staring at the same sign I was, his eyes went wide in disbelief. Oh my God, he's here. They're both here. Sue yelled as the entire bus was now reading the sign. Several seniors said, "Who cares? As long as the casinos stay open." Ma watched as I sat back into place, staring at the seat in front of me, speechless. Michael, breathe. Take a deep breath. They're here to see you. They knew you were coming. Looking at my mother, I chuckled and began to sweat.
We made a beeline for PH. We looked at all the movie props as the waitress came over for our drink order. "Hi, can you tell me when Sly will be here?" Sue said before the waitress even had a chance to open her mouth. "Sorry, we're big fans," she shrugged in a what are you going to do way. "Well, they're closing the restaurant by 4, special guests only, and they should be here by 7. A red carpet is supposed to be set up in front with press and standing room only for fans. They're expecting a few thousand," she said with a smile, taking our order and heading to the kitchen. Sue saw the look on my face. We were thinking the same thing. Our bus leaves at 6, and I have to work in the morning. "Mickey, stay. Grab a late bus home. The station is only 2 blocks away," Dad said. "Yeah, I'll call your job and tell them you can't make it. You can't miss this. You might never get this close again," Sue said, raising her eyebrows and rubbing my shoulder. "I don't know. Waitress said they were expecting a lot of people. I'll never get close. I can't miss work, and I'm sure I'll miss the bus." Excuses flew like flies on crap from my mouth. I couldn't enjoy my dinner. Pouting like a child, I made no conversation. I was ruining what could have been a nice day. My family left me in peace for the time being. Jason and his then girlfriend, now my sister-in-law, met up with her family for several hours.
Dad made a suggestion. Hey, why don't we head over to Rogers? They have $2 drafts in these massive plastic cups. Mickey, what do you think? Help you make up your mind? Sure, why not? I said, rolling my eyes in a general not giving a crap about anybody else way. My parents walked along the boardwalk toward Rogers while Sue held my arm back, stopping. What's the matter with you? She asked, clearly annoyed. Nothing, just sucks I won't be here, I said. But you can, for the 10th time, take a late bus. Sue became quiet for a moment, looking out to sea, pausing. She knew to try a different approach. We're talking about a chance to meet your idol, the one constant in your life. Grabbing my hand, she continued, come on. You know you want to. Come on, guys. Last one in buys the first round, Ma said with a laugh, trying to lighten the mood. Rogers is no longer there. For that matter, Planet Hollywood is gone now too. But for nearly 50 years, Rogers stood tall along the boardwalk. The front had a 1920s classic Art Deco look to it. Inside was a bit more modern, though not by much. The small, cramped seaside bar had more bums and ashtrays and a one-toilet restroom with no toilet paper. And it was karaoke day, so the place was belly button to butthole. From that moment until now, I never stopped underestimating the power of booze. If used correctly, it can become a powerful motivating factor.
My first beer went down fast and hard, having little effect on my attitude. The second one, along with the greasiest burger in Atlantic City, had a chilling effect. All of a sudden, people at the microphone sounded better. My shoulders ceased supporting my ears, and before I knew it, my wallet was $12 lighter, and I was telling everybody I loved them. And as we all heard a young woman sing with her heart, she belted out Oleta Adams' Get There. We stopped talking and listened. It was more than just a few beers that brought us to tears. She was missing someone, begging for her lover to be by her side. I hope those poor bums figured that my wallet was in my front pocket. I was getting happier, but couldn't concede to staying later. No one understood why, but I knew. I was afraid. The thought of a chance at seeing or meeting my hero was overpowering. What if it went wrong? Or he wasn't what I thought? Real life might be better than real life. and I was scared to find out. Well, as we rolled out the door, we met up with my brother and Debbie, while my old friend Fate was holding hands with two other people walking toward us. Standing on the boardwalk, gabbing like 6 yentas, 4 of us hammered, we kept hearing our names being called. We thought it was just the seagulls. It was, in fact, my cousin Michael and his new bride Fern. They had just gotten married, lived in New York, and were spending their honeymoon in Brigantine, a small town just next to Atlantic City. It's the Kundas! Hi, guys! They both said in unison. We all did a double take and exchanged hugs, explaining why we were there. I looked at my watch. As desperation was renting 20 minutes at a clip on my face, Michael's new bride asked what was wrong. Dad explained as Fern listened.
Mike, simple. Stay with us. We can hang all night with you. In the morning, we can run you over to the bus station and off you go. Fern said as Michael nodded, hitting me square in the face with a bag of generosity delivered with a Brooklyn accent. Sue poked my ribs as Ma and Dad agreed. I no longer threw lazy roadblocks. These two were so kind to let me intrude on their honeymoon that saying no would be a slap in the face. Okay, done. I'm staying. Everybody smiled and wished me the best as we all hugged. They walked back to the bus, but Sue stayed just a few seconds longer. No matter what, you do what it takes to get a picture, she said and winked. Go for it. Hugging her, I laughed at her quote from Rocky 3. If not for her love and support, these stories wouldn't have the endings they do. So here I am, 6:30 at night on the Atlantic City boardwalk with my cousin and his wife. They were on their way to eat, so we set a time to meet near Rogers, just a few doors down from Planet Hollywood. As they left, the reality of what may happen was settling in, along with a full bladder. Yep, all those beers were on the return trip with no bathroom in sight. I was standing in the middle of 3,000 people waiting for Sly and Arnold to show. 6:30 became 7:30. If I ran back to Rogers to use the bathroom, I'd miss Sly. In 30 seconds, I was either pissing my pants or over the edge of the boardwalk. I ran to Rogers and back. Losing my spot, I found a dumpster to stand on, way in the back. My camera zoom lens barely picked up the stage they were to stand on. Dozens of paparazzi stood in front as thousands waited. At 7:45, the crowd went insane as the two greatest action icons on the planet took the stage. I was less than 50 feet from Stallone.
Time slowed. Flash bulbs popped and all sound was shut out. I couldn't grasp what I was seeing. How could anything in my life top this moment? Sly flew in from Seattle, where he was filming his new movie, Assassins. I'm not sure where Arnold came from. They had an awesome banter. Sly, have you ever seen a crowd this excited? Arnold asked in his Austrian accent. Not since we opened in New York. Yo, AC, how you doing? Sly roared in his best Rocky voice. This was like 1969 moon landing to me. I know. They're just two guys who put on their pants one leg at a time, but they've inspired millions for a better slant in life. The magic of Hollywood was alive in Atlantic City. Standing underneath the green and pink striped awning of the boardwalk entrance to the eatery, they raised each other's hands in victory. Remember, if you have a bad time at Planet Hollywood, Arnold said, I'll be back. Yo, Adrian, try the chicken tenders, Sly said. They both tossed Judge Dredd t-shirts to the crowd, as that was Sly's current movie about to be released. A fast wave to the crowd, and they were gone. I had no recollection of snapping pictures, and the new roll of film Ma brought me that day was on its last exposure. I clicked all I was going to get. Having no idea what I was shooting, I jumped off the dumpster, stood against the railing, having the overwhelming urge to vomit. The crowd was thinning, and I had an hour before meeting my cousin when a vague sensation hit my brain. I needed to be somewhere else. Inside, Caesar's Casino was a separate entrance to Planet Hollywood. Lucky or unlucky gamblers climbed a set of stairs to the restaurant where they could gather their thoughts over a few drinks and a great meal. I wasn't sure what to expect. Either way, I began to move like I had purpose, bobbing and weaving through the crowd across the casino floor. Bells and whistles, paired with flashing lights and screams of woe and delight, surrounded me. The glitz and glamour of the casino reminded me of that one house every town has: Christmas lights, plastic snowmen, an odd-looking Santa swaying in robotic form, to 12 panes of Christmas all year long. That was when I found the staircase.
Over the years, I heard how a lucky fan might bump into a movie star in a hotel lobby or an airport terminal. I felt a casino was no different. Maybe Sly and Arnold would try their hand at fate. At first, there were only 5 or 6 of us with the same idea. We shared similar and not so similar stories of what brought us here. I was clearly the odds-on favorite with the biggest issues. These fans were nice, but too normal to endure what I had. They stood no chance in Rocky knowledge. So anybody here know how many punches landed in the final round of each of the first 3 Rocky films? I asked, unprompted. No, a female said, narrowing her eyes. She took a half step back. I'm just here to see a movie star. Rocky had 35, Rocky 2 had 75, and Rocky 3 had an amazing 130 real punches thrown. Yeah, my eyes popped like round dinner plates. Okay, so I was a little enthusiastic. Whatever. Our little crowd began to attract attention, growing well over 80. Then it happened. The gods came down from Mount Olympus and spoke. First, Sly came halfway down the steps, surrounded by several bodyguards. Wearing a Black Planet Hollywood logo t-shirt, he gave me a huge wave and asked how we were. He didn't stay long, but I was now 13 feet from him. Waking up this morning, I could never have guessed I'd be this close to Stallone. Not in a million years. I just never knew when an opportunity was headed my way. Next, it was Arnold's turn. Not only did he come down off the stairs, but he also spoke to his bodyguards in his ever-present accent. Spread out, he said, waving his hands in front of the security as he shook each and every one of our hands. Shaking my hand, he said, thanks for coming out to support the restaurant. Try the strudel. I began clicking my 35mm camera like I was signaling for SOS, but I forgot I was out of film. I looked down at the useless black plastic box in my hands as Arnold walked back up the stairs for a final wave. That's when I heard Michael. I saw it. I saw him shake your hand. He said. That thick Brooklyn twang of his made me smile. Everywhere I go, I'm surrounded by accents. I wonder if I have an accent. How he found me, I'll never know. But the rest of the night was a blur. True to their word, Michael and Fern had me safe and sound on the bus in the morning. The next time our worlds collided, the 8 of us were together again. Only this time, it was a different city. All right, we're going to go into Kunda Party of 8. It's the next chapter that happens almost literally just a short while later. So, Stacy, would you pick that up?
Yep. The year 1996 saw the conviction of the Menendez brothers and the end of the world's most famous marriage, the divorce of Prince Charles and Lady Diana. Radio listeners were treated to the Macarena, and I saw Sly up close for the second time. It was Sunday, the 18th of August, my birthday. Sue couldn't have given me a better day. She promised an early surprise. It was 6 a.m. when the alarm went off. Where are we going? I asked with a yawn. Don't worry, just get ready. You've got 20 minutes. I'll drive, she said with an abundance of energy. New York was my all-time favorite place at Christmas, but hot in the summer. It was 2 years since we were last there. We toured several sites, making our way through Central Park as we took the turn onto West 57th Street, the site of the original Planet Hollywood in New York. It was since moved to Times Square. When I saw my entire family, including Mike and Fern, all 6 of them yelled, "Happy birthday!" "Yo, what are you doing here?" I asked, looking like I just saw an ape climb a skyscraper. "Sue arranged the whole thing for you. A birthday dinner at Planet Hollywood," Dad said. Turning, I saw Sue bring her shoulders up and lower her chin. Is there nothing this girl wouldn't do for me? "How'd you do this? This is amazing," I said, hugging her.
Just a few phone calls, really. I figured the last time the 8 of us got together, you saw Sly, so who knows? She said in a no big deal kind of way. As usual, Planet Hollywood was busy with a 30-minute wait, so we waited in a small area next to the bar. It was separated by a green velvet rope from the main walkway into the seating area, where numerous movie props hung on the walls surrounded by plastic cases. A video of Stallone's greatest scene set to Bonnie Tyler's Holding Out for a Hero played on a TV above the bar. I was engrossed by the video. I didn't hear anything but the music, and that should have been my first clue. When people enter Planet Hollywood, the sounds of the crowd, clashing of dishes, and 20-foot TVs are awe-inspiring. It's like a Hollywood Christian retreat on steroids. Michael, look, Ma said, pointing into the restaurant. Yeah, in a minute, Ma. I'm watching Sly on TV. Mike, turn around now. Now, Jason screamed. Now, goddammit, turn around now, Dad screamed. But still, I watched the TV. Mike, what the hell? Just turn around, Sue screamed as Ma grabbed my head and snapped it to the left, pointing to an area 12 inches from me. I didn't understand what I was seeing. Oh, wait. Not a chance. How could Sue have known? Zeus hurled a thunderbolt at my head. Bombs were exploding. People's lips were moving with no voices as all eyes stared in one direction. Bonnie Tyler was still singing as I came face to face with Sylvester Stallone, a much heavier, tropical shirt and sunglass wearing Sylvester Stallone. I forgot he was across the river filming Copland in Jersey. I was so excited seeing my family and having a good time, I never gave it a second thought. He didn't walk as much as he had a rolling shoulder gait to him. I knew the shirt was to hide the weight gain he put on for his awesome performance as small-town sheriff Freddie Heflin. How you doing? He asked in a deep nasal voice as I stood looking with my jaw on the floor.
Michael, go! Shake his hand, Ma was screaming to me as she pushed my back to move forward, but I was frozen. Mickey, go, now! It's him! Now! It's him! Dad screamed. Mike, please, dear God, move! Tell him it's your birthday! Sue and Ma shouted at the same time. I was dumbstruck. Gray brain matter liquefied by shock seeped out my ears, dripping down my nose. I had no idea I'd react this way. I swear life was laughing its ass off at me. Michael, say something, anything before he leaves. Ma was frantic. Yo, Sly, you're the best, I yelled. And he stopped, turned, and took off his glasses. Yo, thanks, he said, looking at me as he walked out the front doors. Before I knew it, Dad was in action, jumping over the velvet rope and out the doors after him. Sly, my kid's your biggest, he said as the limo doors closed, and he pulled away. I was still staring at the entrance when Dad walked back in. None of us knew what to say.
Kunda, party of 8? Kunda, our hostess called. I turned to Sue. How did you know? Complete friggin' luck, she said, her face a mask of confused wonder. I sat at the table as bugles sounded and flags of disbelief waved, rallying a second charge of disbelief. I'm sorry for getting so emotional, guys, but, it's him. I had no idea. I mean, Rocky was the one who inspired me when I couldn't inspire myself. It's something when out of the blue you come face to face with the ruler you measured your life with. I can't think of any other group of people I would share it with. Thanks, Sue. Now, none of us can ever top this birthday gift, Ma said with a smile, and we all laughed. She was right. Nobody came close. That birthday sent shockwaves through my life, and it was just the tip of the iceberg. Tom LeMaine continued. I don't recall you having a brother. You got a dog? Yeah, sorry. I'm not going to read the rest of that because that just leads in to the first half of the chapter earlier before that I cut into. That's like a throwback. Anyways,
which we'll do another time.
Yeah, we'll do that another time. But those, Anthony, that was the first two moments. They were the first two times I met Sly in public, actually.
Wow. That story really took me there. I was actually like picturing that whole thing as you guys were reading.
I'm glad.
I can't imagine you spinning around and like he's right there.
Crazy.
You got out more than I would have been able to get out.
Because maybe if I had prepared or something, I don't know what would have happened, but it was just one of those most amazing things.
You can't prepare for that.
It was just timing. I mean, it was just all timing.
Yeah.
At that moment, he was coming through the restaurant to leave, and we were waiting. I mean, and that's really what life is.
Man.
I'm telling you, it's another one of Sue's psychic moments.
Yeah. Sue's
right?
psychic moments, or the universe doing its thing, man. I'm telling you.
Well,
that's weird.
That's the thing. We always like to say I always say life is timing. It's all about timing at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And speaking of timing, do we have anybody waiting? Are we interviewing anyone?
Absolutely.
We have someone. Yes.
We've got a Robert Loggia lookalike.
Lookalike, we sure do. Tony C.
I love this guy,
everyone knows him. He posts fantastic pictures, rare pictures. He's all over the Rocky community. And we said, hey, we got to get Tony C in here. So
Can we have one of the assistants run down to the green room?
Yep, absolutely.
Let's bring him in.
Bring him in.
Tony, it's so great to have you here. We've seen all your posts. We follow you on social media.
Yeah.
And I tell you, you've got a passion. You've got a real passion for this character. Not to mention, I remember your video when you were at the Rocky Steps you had posted a little while back, and then you had lost it all on Instagram, and you had to go get it all back.
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know. It's so funny because I'm going to take one of these out. Kind of sounds weird. Okay. I'm not sure. I actually started it, to be honest with you, to roll the dice in hopes that Sly that saw something and reach out to me, or I can meet him in some way.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, 12,000 people started following me.
Wow.
And one day, you guys know John, who from Icons of Art.
Yeah.
And he texted me. I said to him, I said, what's wrong with your site? I said, I can't log on. All I could see is like some, parts of your site. And he said he was having trouble with somebody hacking his site. And I said, I think it might have happened to me as well. Yeah. And long story short, it did. They wiped out. I don't know what the purpose was of it, or it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
What, I don't. It's not like it was.
They didn't care for your fame, Tony.
What's that?
They didn't care for your fame. They were getting
no, they didn't.
They
didn't. They didn't. So so I like my favorite quote of all time. Keep moving forward. I started another page, and started posting again, and now I'm up to like 2,500 followers. And it wasn't about the followers, to be honest with you. It was kind of cool to see that many have the same love and passion for the character. It was more so that I wanted to get the attention, to be honest with you, of Sly. I wanted him to look at that site and go, he's got 10,000 people following him. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I mean, here I am. I meet you guys. I've made, John. I bought plenty of his art, and it's a cool, like you had guys that said, it's a cool community. It's kind of weird too.
There's definitely a lot. There's definitely a lot of knuckleheads out there too. But there's so many beautiful, amazing people. There really are. Tony, I always wonder, like, what is it about the character of Rocky that inspires you? Why go through recapturing all those photos again? Why start again? What does Rocky do for you?
Well, just like most of us. I mean, I was 10 when that movie came out. I remember like yesterday seeing it with my dad in the theater. And of course, that wasn't a character that anybody knew. I mean, so when I saw it in the theater, there was no backstory. There was no, I heard about the Rocky movie. It came out right then and there. And I'm sure you guys have heard all the stories before. I mean, the theater was erupting when Rocky went to train and when Rocky got to the top of the steps. And it was like a live bout.
Nobody saw anything like that before.
No, they didn't. And when we left the theater, and I could see this like it was yesterday, we were at a red light outside the theater, and some guy got out of his car and just started jumping around the car like this. People were beeping horns at him, and it was like,
oh man,
crazy.
So it's just that he was an everyday guy. Like he said before, he's not the smartest, he's not the best looking, he's just he's Anthony, he's Mike, Stacy, and you got the feeling like I could do that. I could do that if he put his mind to it and did it, so could I. And it just keeps you going sometimes. It's an amazing character. It's generational. It's just that the Batman, the James Bond, and all these things, they have a lot of backstory to them, and a lot of things that we cannot relate to, being the multi-billionaire or the son of Krypton. But
completely.
you know, this guy, you know, he's a guy from Philly. You know, and he's just like he's a regular Joe who wants to show the world that he could do more than that.
Well, that's what I loved about that
first
1
and 2.
Yeah, especially 1 and 2 to me, they're so fascinating because, like you said, an average Joe, he doesn't have the 3% body fat, right? He's got a good set of shoulders, he's a thick chest, good arms, but he's not chiseled, and that is what everybody can closer relate to, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
No grown man who is a normal everyday guy who's got a 9-to-5 job or whatever, he's not going to have a 29.5-inch waist with 18-inch arms and a 48-inch chest. That's not going to happen. It isn't. And like you said, you know, you can't relate with Superman as much as you can with Rocky. And I think that's what brings the 4 of us together and millions of others.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I really love about 1 and 2, especially 2, because you know he could have went the fantasy way, and I think that's what makes people relate. You could go the fantasy way, and he could have went the distance, and you know he could have in 2 he could have made him, you know, famous and you know doing commercials and being successful and getting to that Rocky 3, 4. But instead, what does he do with them? He puts them even worse shape than he probably was in 1. Like instead of getting all this fame, now he's like right back to nothing, and he's working at a meat plant at night, and it's like that's so realistic. That to me is so realistic.
And that's the thing too, Anthony. It's like you see the guy, he's working in a meat packing place where he doesn't belong, you know, and he's smacking the meat, and he's wiping his brow, and you know that's a guy who's doing what he's got to do for his family. And you know, and that's the true hero. You know, so somebody going to a job every day they don't like. And, you know, to support their family, to do what they want to do and go after their dreams. And that's why you said it can make you look at 2 like more of it in awe than in 3 and 4.
Right. Yes. And those movies are all wonderful. That like I can't.
Oh God,
I'll never say a bad word, and none of us are. But like I mean, I would never downplay 3. For years, I didn't like Rocky 4, but I love the director's cut. I've never made a secret about that. If anybody knows me, they know, you know, Rocky 4 is always my least favorite. But you know, that's the thing with this character, that the perseverance and Tony, like you said, right off the bat, it's like keep moving forward. That incredible speech he gives his son, it's remarkable.
Hands down, my most favorite in all of them. I mean, it just, and especially being my age, and I think Mike, you had touched on this one time. You were saying on how seeing that movie, you were a little bit older. You know, not as old as he was, but a little bit older. You know, and when that movie came out, it was 2006. I was 40, and Sly was 60. Sly's 20 years older than me. And I already went through some hurdles in life. I already went through some, you know, trying to get through this and do that. So you can relate to it so much in that scene, and that scene just blew me away. I mean, it was just, it was amazing. It really was. It was so well written.
Tony, you have kids, right?
Yes. Yeah. I have 3 daughters.
Now, 3 daughters.
It's the hair color.
Yeah, but you rock it, man. I'm telling you, you
amazing, buddy.
And that beautiful Robert Loggia look you got. I mean, you speech, Lawana.
That's right. I remember you saying that.
That's crazy.
I told you in the text too. That's oddly, my grandfather knew him. That's so bizarre that you said.
That is crazy.
That's such a. I think that's phenomenal. Have you given your kids a Rocky-esque speech about keep moving forward and not blaming other people?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's something that I've said before, you know, so, you know, don't, you know, look in the mirror every day, you know, and it could be something small. You know, my youngest plays soccer. She's 15, you know, and she, you know, she ran into the goalpost last week, you know, and arms all bruised up. I'm like, come on, let's go. No pain.
Right. Exactly.
No pain.
You know?
I use that
even
one
up to my
every day.
oldest. I mean, it's just something that, you know, I can sit here and talk about all the tragedy health issues that, you know, any family has had.
Sure.
You know, my family's had some ups and downs with health, and everybody's doing great, thank God. But I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. There's been times where you know, you watch that and you're like, you know what? Let's go. You know, you talk to my sister who was going through some issues, or my wife, or whoever it may be at the time. It could be something relatively minor or even bigger, and give them that little boost and saying those words. You know what? My daughter did a speech on it. It was Martin Luther King's speech about it doesn't matter if you crawl, doesn't matter if you walk, keep moving forward. and she intentionally didn't want to do Rocky.
Right. Oh,
you know,
really?
she's like, because she had to use a real historical character.
Oh, I got you. Sure. Oh, that makes sense. I get it.
But it's the same. It's the same speech. It's the same.
Oh
thing.
yeah. Oh, of course it is.
So yeah. I mean, throughout life, whether it be something minor as a teenage girl, where you're like, it's fine, you know, or something major, you know, where it's a more of a health issue. Yeah, you know, and you may say it in some words. You may even quote it. You know, I know I've literally quoted it sometimes word for word. And my daughter will be like, "Okay, Dad, I know." You know.
You say it to yourself too. How many times you say it to yourself?
Oh God, yeah. Well, in 06, I mean, not to throw, you know, some sour notes here, but I mean, everybody's doing good, everybo's fine, so I don't want to dwell on that. But in 06, I was diagnosed with a heart condition, and that was when my little one was just born, and my older one was 13 at the time. Oh, we want to say 13, 3. Oh my goodness. See what happens? You go see now with daughters.
That's true.
And when I was diagnosed, I remember sitting in the car, you know, thinking, "Holy crap! You know, I'm too young to be heart conditioned. Come on, man, what's going on with this? I want to see the girls grow up. I want to see this. I want to see that." And oddly enough, that was the year Rocky Balboa came out. And again, just you know,
perfect timing.
That's the boost, son of a beat. You know?
Right, exactly right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's there's no shortage of inspiration from these movies, especially when we see him in Creed. You know, at first we all know the story. You know, Sly didn't want to do it for 3 years. He turned Creed down, and then his wife called him a coward and said, "You don't want to be seen. You don't want to be seen in a particular light." So he says, "Okay, I'll show you. I'll do it." And it was probably one of the most remarkable spins at Rocky that we had seen. But who better? I mean, none of us are going to know what it's like to have a Lamborghini in our driveway with a pet robot and fight the Russian champion. But if you extend our life long enough, odds are someone we know is going to get hit with cancer or something. So who's a better poster boy to deal with this than Rocky?
Nobody.
And also too, because my daughters weren't even born when the Rockies movies came out. So to go to a Rocky movie with them, it was so special, you know, to see the movie and see the characters, and they already knew about them, so it wasn't like they saw Creed and then went back, you know. I mean, they grew up with the movies on all the time. So
are they hardcore lovers like? Are they hardcore lovers like Papa?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I wouldn't say as hardcore. You know, when the Life magazine came out, you know, my daughter, she's in college. She texts me, "Make sure you buy me one too." You know, and like, but yeah, they're up there.
Have you tried beating them to get them to a new level of respect and love for Rocky?
Mike wants them to get
them or the heavy bag. It's one of the two. You know, so
Mike wants them to get there. He doesn't like that answer.
You know, I'm thinking, you know what? These kids today, boy, we gotta forget about Barney and Blue's Clues.
That's
right.
Right.
Give them Rocky.
Yeah.
Give them Rocky.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. I remember, you know, not only Rocky. I mean, I know Mickey was only in 3 of them. You know, with the partial.
Feels like the whole series, though, doesn't it?
You know, but him, it's why I truly loved him as a secondary character, I guess, so to speak. If I had to pick one outside of Rocky, because he is about as politically incorrect as you could get. Yeah. And, you know, it's something I grew up in. You know, my dad was not a PC person. I grew up in a blue collar family, you know. Sure. And, you know, he was just saying it like it is. And sometimes you got to say that to the kids. My father talked to me that way. You know, I think I grew up all right. So,
we all do. Yeah.
Sometimes you don't want to sugarcoat it as bad, you know.
Oh, you're right.
You're right. That's true. And I think a little bit of dose of bluntness does the world some good sometimes too.
Yeah.
You know, as long as you're not in a corporate setting where there's an HR department and you can get sued or fired.
Right.
Hey, amongst the family.
If it's within family and friends, you're good.
I'm with you, Tony. I'm with you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Rocky gave his son a dose of some of that, and with the speech.
Yeah.
That's where that one came from.
Well, we used to hold you right. I mean,
it is amazing when you get older and you become a parent, you know, and you do think those things. You're like, you know, you used to be this big, you know, and I think to myself, you know, you're going to be a great woman one day. You're going to do this, you're going to do that. Yeah. You know, stop pointing the fingers at everybody. I mean, and it's so true. It's and that's why it's bizarre. And sometimes it's cliche to say it. And you're like, no, it's not. No, it's
right.
No, I know. Yeah.
It's so true.
It's true.
Any length of life, you know, to experience the hits and the blows. You know, obviously when you're really young, you don't, you know, and you need somebody sometimes to let you know about it.
Yeah, because I think things are it's all relative. Like you had mentioned earlier about the goalpost injury in the shoulder. Okay, that like at 15, that's how old she was?
Yeah. It
so
only happened last week.
Okay.
Still bruised.
So at 15, that's a monumental thing. Like it's all relative. Like it's not the same as losing your job now and wondering how you're going to pay the mortgage, but in that relative respect, that's a big deal, and I get that, and I think that's a wonderful way to put that Rocky speech to some use.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's when
Tony,
you get up, no pain. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Tony, your Instagram is awesome.
Thank you.
It is.
Where do you get this content?
Where do you find all that?
I was gonna say, where do you get this content? It's
it's so funny
good. Whenever I see a Tony C pop up, it's so good.
My wife makes fun. I'm the most least social media person on the planet. Like I truly despise it. And they laugh at me because I have this and I have all these followers and stuff. And I'm not one to scroll on things. I don't follow many people. It's all Rocky.
Maybe that's
based.
the secret. Not caring.
And I look on Pinterest a lot. I look on Google some things, or sometimes I'll think of a scene and I'll Google that scene to get a shot of that. Or sometimes I'm even watching the TV itself and I'll video the TV and post it.
That's
fun. I texted on there one time last week. I was flicking around TV and I came across the very beginning of the fight of 2. And I saw
nice.
My younger one said next to me, I said, "You do know it's a law. You cannot change the channel now."
100%. How do we all know that law? It's amazing.
So I took a video at the beginning of the fight and I texted. I said, it is a Rocky law. You cannot change this channel. And somebody replied to me, I'm so glad I followed all the Rockhead laws. I didn't change it either.
Oh, the other law is when it comes on, you have to stop whatever you're doing and watch the whole thing.
Yeah, that's it. You got to sit down.
At whatever point. Like
you never saw it before. That's what they laugh about me too. It's like I'll watch the fight. I'm like, come on, get up. Oh, good shot. Oh, good shot.
Right.
You know this thing.
Even though you already know.
Yeah. So,
Do you have a favorite Rocky of all of them?
Yeah. I would have to say the first one just because of the memories of it, and it started it all, and going with my dad. I mean, my dad's still around. I mean, but it was special going to see it with him.
Sure.
And like I said, it started it all. It gave me he's the reason I even started hitting the gym at such a young age.
Oh, really?
And, yeah. I think I was the only 10-year-old on the block asking for a heavy bag for Christmas.
Right.
Exactly.
It was, but yeah, when that one first came out, I was close to Mike's stratosphere of obsession.
Excitement. Is Dad a Rocky fan too then?
I actually have a picture of my dad with a Rocky shirt on from '76.
Oh, nice.
Oh, you have to send that to us.
You have to send that over.
He's laying in the backyard in some lawn chair, and I don't know who took the picture.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, send it. Yeah.
That's cool.
I'll post it. I'll dig it out and post it.
Because those original Rocky T-shirts, the original ones, not the reprints. The reprints are great. They got them at the Stallone shop, but the original, you can't get them anywhere.
No, his was light blue, and it had the Adrian and Rocky down by the letter. But
that's awesome.
It was good. So I know I even dig through pictures, and I'll see posters in my room when I was like 12 or 11.
Right.
I wish I still had that.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
That's
Oh, when you look back at all the stuff that you had and it's gone, oh man, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
I do that all the time.
Try to recoup it.
Go through them, please, Tony. For us, go through them. Your favorite to least.
Favorite part, like I said, it would be Rocky, and then the second actually would be Balboa, again because it hit home with some personal stuff, and at the same, I wouldn't say the same age. Obviously, I wasn't 60, but I was a lot older than I was.
Right.
2 would be the third favorite after that. I remember that one because it came out in the summertime, and my dad was at work, and my dad was not one to take off of work, so I went with my grandfather. So that was kind of cool to see with him. Nice. And then I would say 3 and 4 in that order.
4 was last, eh?
Yeah, 4 was last. I loved 4. I went out and bought the sweatshirt like everybody else, and
right.
And I did love it. But again, I think probably for the same reasons Mike was leaving it back in the line. Was because of it just was not as much substance, I guess, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah.
Which leads into what did you think of?
Director's
cut.
Oh, the director's cut. Oh, it was amazing. Yeah. It really was. It was kind of weird watching it because you were expecting other scenes.
Yeah, it was weird,
and you were expecting other lines.
Yeah,
and guys like people like the four of us, we know the movie in and out. So I was one of those annoying people in the theater, like, that wasn't supposed to be there, right? And like
I did that with my friend.
He didn't say that, right?
Right.
But it was weird. But I went, watching in the theater again. I went with my daughter. She drove in from school to see it with me. And then the next day I bought it on Amazon. So I watched it alone the next day. And it was different watching it again. And kind of like putting blinders on. Okay, forget 1985.
Right.
Let's watch it right now. And I actually enjoyed it more when I watched it again.
Yeah.
I said the same thing. It's funny. What were you most surprised by? Because there were some things that I was like, wow, what were you most surprised by?
Oh, geez, I don't know. I mean, I was surprised he left the James Brown scene in. He was going for that.
I agree. I thought that was a goner.
Serious.
But you saw what he changed about that.
Yeah.
Remember, in the original Rocky, Paulie, and Duke come out, and they're all staring at the girl's backside.
Right.
That's gone.
How much
Rocky makes that face.
Yeah, he pulled all the comedy.
That was a Sly. That was not a Rocky.
Adrian Sly. Sly was checking them out.
Adrian
But he
looks
did. He
Rocky.
pulled the chipmunks
Rocky
out. He pulled a lot of all the goofiness, I guess you could say. So
I missed the Italian sweatshirt. I don't miss the robot.
No, I agree, Mike. I agree, because I was wondering if there was scenes that were on the floor that he had on. Maybe when he was talking to Apollo in the backyard or something. But and it's funny because I wore the sweatshirt to go see the movie.
Right.
And I was like, when I was leaving, I was like,
they're in spirit.
You know which scene I was really upset that they cut out is the one where he walked into the house after the
Apollo fight.
I just think he looks so awesome when he walks in. He's got the tracksuit on, he's got the shoes, he's got the bag, he's got that. I just think he looks so awesome coming in.
I guess the thing I was surprised was maybe the length of the Rocky 3 in the beginning. I was a little surprised.
It's almost 7.5 minutes of that. There was a lot of that.
And the only thing I could come up with was that maybe he was trying to, really show why Apollo was such a good friend for the later generations.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
The one thing that I got very emotional at, and I didn't think I would, because I didn't know it was going to be in it. There was, for years, when we never saw the conversation that took place with Adrian begging him to stay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't know that took place, but we just knew they weren't talking. Rocky gets, we see Paulie say, "Come on, the meter's running."
Yeah, you hear him outside.
You hear
inside
with Adrian is begging Rocky, and you hear that. And I said to myself, whoa, for 35 years, we were outside with Paulie.
Right.
We were there. I felt like we were, as an audience, we were at the limo looking up at the window. And I said, and I got choked up. I got tears in my eyes at that. I thought, what a brilliant moment. One of my favorite moments in the recut.
Do you like thinking back now and going, that conversation was happening?
Right.
For how many years?
Yeah,
right.
So we didn't know it.
We didn't know it.
Yeah.
We didn't know it. We just saw her being all,
yeah,
you're
gonna go to Russia. Yeah,
that's true. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was man.
Not that she was concerned for her husband's life or anything. No, that wasn't
nothing. Right.
No.
Yeah. So glad he put that in. But what an oversight, even for the first one, to not have a scene where you say goodbye to your wife. Yeah. I don't get that one. But anyway, he made up for that one. Yeah.
He did.
He sure did. Now, listen, Tony, we're not going to keep you all night here because I know you're going to dinner shortly.
He's the number one fan. He wants to stay here on
He was one of our first fans.
He was our first fan. He threw his video in on our first episode. Yeah.
I think he was in like the top 10 or 20 that joined us. Yeah, for sure.
He's an OG. He's an OG.
It's hard to find.
The OG list.
At my age, you're an OG in a lot of things, Anthony.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Well, it's hard to find a good podcast that, to be very honest, and not disrespect anybody else's, but that really know what they're doing, and are true, passionate, fans that are really into it. So it's good. It's good stuff. I love watching.
Thank you.
So, Tony, I have two questions for you. I'm going to ask my first one now, and then I'm going to let the other guys jump in and say whatever they want to say, and then we're going to let you I'm going to ask you a last question, and then we'll let you get out of here. Okay. What's your thoughts on a prequel for Rocky. Rocky at 15, you know, Mickey is like 40 years old or whatever, young Paulie. What's your thoughts on that?
I like the idea of it, you know, to see how it's set up, to see maybe why, you know, Mickey became so, you know, bitter and angry, and, you know, why Paulie became that way, you know, and, you know, I like the idea. At first I was like, oh, come on, you know, that's going a little crazy. But, you know, the more I think about it, the more I think it'd be kind of cool to see the setup of it, to see how they became who they were when we caught up with them.
Yeah.
So I do think it would be more of a Netflix series.
Yeah.
Than it would be a film.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, I think that would be more the line to go. If I had to guess, it would be, you know, 1 or 2 seasons of it, you know, like he was saying, you know, like a Cobra Kai, but the opposite, you know, going back. But I think any true fan would, when you watch the characters, you want to know their backstory. You want to, you know, Mickey's talking about that fight where he's got the paper in there, you know, and you know what happened there, what, you know, why. So I like it. I think it would be great.
Yeah, I think so too.
I agree. I really hope we see that a la Cobra Kai. Yeah, that's just be. At first, I was like, no, I want a movie. Like, no, I want.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can fit more in with you know, a mini series or a series that has, you know, a couple seasons.
Yeah, and especially if you're going to cover 10 years.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
That's
like the way
too.
Cobra Kai did it, telling all those stories that we didn't know. You know, because they go back and forth. That's perfect. You can do, you know.
Who would have thought Daniel LaRusso was a douchebag?
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Bordered on being.
Bordered,
not a full blown. He's still a good guy, but you know,
Right.
who knew we'd feel for Johnny Lawrence?
You got it.
It's amazing.
100%. Something like that would be beautiful. So,
Anthony, any last questions? Anything you want to say to Tony?
I want to say that, Tony, finally meeting you, you're such an awesome guy.
Thank you, man.
You could tell through Instagram, but meeting you now and speaking to you, you are amazing. And I just want to have some fun with you. If I could, if you don't mind, because you know who you look like. Really, you know who you look like. Can I do a side by? I want to do a side by side right now.
Go ahead.
Can I pop up and you're gonna give me a little side by side?
You tell me where to go.
Move over the other side. Come on, there he is.
Okay.
Right?
That's crazy.
I see it.
There he is.
Yeah, I see.
Come on.
You know you're old when you're getting compared to the senior citizens now.
Yeah, I just love it. I love it. I love it. We love you so much. Thank you for joining. We love you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's been my pleasure. I appreciate it.
Stacey, anything you want to say on the way out?
I was just curious, you know, Creed 3, is that something you want to run out and see, or not so much without him?
It's funny you said that, Stacey, because when I heard that Sly was out, and you knew Sly was out, but just by the way he passed the torch and, you know, sat down with the hat and all, you knew that was the last hurrah. And you know what? I mean, that's an amazing, awesome way to end the character. Nobody wants to see him killed off. You know, it's just, it's perfect. You know what? I'd probably see it out of curiosity, and really depending on how well it was done to move forward from there. If it carried on the legacy of the Rocky world, you know, I don't know how it would. I mean, wherever they would pick people from, maybe that you forgot about, I'd be for it. But you know, and Michael B. Jordan's phenomenal. I mean, I would love to see it, but I don't know. Time will tell. We'll see. It's something that, like you said, run out to see. Without Sly, I mean, that's kind of, I don't know.
It's a tough one.
You know, I would have a problem. Yeah, I don't think I'd run out to see that at all. No, I'm sorry. Like, I'm gonna say it now. I don't. What if he's not in there?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Forget about it.
I'm not. I mean, I would check it out if it came out on, you know, something Netflix. I would, you know, have a peek. But sorry, my interest is a zero, hard zero.
Yeah. Hard zero too.
Yeah. Creed 3 is going to be very divisive amongst Creed fans and Rocky fans.
Yeah,
a lot of Rocky fans are very, very upset with the way Michael B. Jordan treated Sly and how that all went down. So
and I was just going to say that just the Sly fans are.
Oh yeah. So I hope it fails.
Love you, Sly.
Yeah, that's right. This
you
is
need
a
to
Rocky,
open up, Mike. Really, you know, let us
know. Tell us
your
Rocky Files. Okay, it's the Rocky
up.
Files, not the Creed Kazoo.
Not the Creed.
That's right.
That's right. That's why I said hard zero, guys. Hard zero.
Tony, you're in an elevator with Sylvester Stallone. You got 30 seconds. What do you say to him?
Which floor? Okay.
Yeah.
I would tell him I thanked him for his courage to believe in himself, to make Rocky him, you know, and not succumb to the hundreds of thousands of dollars to let Burt Reynolds do it or Paul Newman or whoever, because I don't think it would have become what it was. And because he had the courage to do it, he gave us, millions of us courage to do a lot of what we couldn't do before watching that movie. So I would thank him for that. And then let him know I'm 4 hours west. If he wants to have lunch or something, shoot me an email.
Nice.
I'll shoot over to West Palm. I won't stalk you or anything.
Hopefully he's watching.
He's down there now. He's down there living the dream in the big.
We actually drove over there. My daughters and I, we
sharks.
drove over there a few months back and just tried to drove around and see. You never know, walking around, whatever. But of course, to no avail. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Bummer.
You take
Tony,
your shot.
You have been absolutely fantastic. I can't thank you enough for coming on, but more than that, being an original supporter for us, because it's not easy getting followers, and you've stuck with this, and I thank you tremendously.
No, thank you guys. I appreciate you being out there. Like I said, I look forward to the podcast. I look forward to the posts. It's a good. Rocky Land's a good place. So
it is the best community really ever.
I think so. I think so. Tony, enjoy the holidays, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you soon.
We love you, buddy. Thank you so much.
Take care. Thanks again.
All right. Thanks, Tony.
Bye, Tony.
Bye-bye. Oh, Tony.
Nice.
Not bad, huh?
Great guy.
What a nice guy.
Easy pick.
Easy pick.
Exactly.
Easy pick. What took us so long? I always kind of knew from his Instagram and really from his Instagram and just seeing the stuff that he writes and remember that little video he did for us too. The way he talks, he's so classy and he is such a Rocky lover.
He is,
man. I think he's he's, like he said, he would be almost like you, Mike, if he was.
He's big. Yeah. He really is.
Yeah, he's really big.
I think the only thing that held us back from bringing him on was we just had so many people in line that we're trying to get to everyone, and we're just chopping away at great story, great guest after great guest, and Tony was definitely top of the line, and I mean, it was great.
I'm so glad he's in there, and I'm so glad he let me kind of have some fun with him here. Like,
there he is. Tony, you're back.
He's back. He wanted to shoot back in. Yeah, what a great guy. Really, I was a really good guy.
Guys, we had a really fast open. We dove into
we did. Tony couldn't wait.
Story time. So we did story time. We got our interview in. Yeah. So now we always do these closeouts, and we always talk about upcoming things, or if we got any plugs. You guys got anything going on you want to talk about?
Stacey?
I don't. I'm sorry.
You don't?
I don't.
Of course, everyone. Mental.
You go first.
We'll look at episode 3.
And Stacey forgets she has another podcast. It's called Mentel, where she does a really great service in helping out.
Episode 3 is out.
Episode 3 is out. Yes.
Episode 3 is out on.
We'll remind you, Stacey, that you're doing this.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be.
Why? It's a thing you're doing.
You must. You
gotta.
Yeah.
She's so good. Right. She's so good.
So
and she dresses up for this.
Yeah, she does.
She dresses up.
I don't wear Rambo.
There's no camo Rambo.
There's no Rambo.
No, she's got like these curtains you would see. They're very nice.
Black
curtains.
And white.
She's got this blouse with a collar and it's flowy. And she's got
very nice.
She's like, well, I don't know, but I think I'll be called Miss McGonagall. That will be my name on this podcast.
Okay.
And she talks like a Harry Potter character.
She holds she's good.
Okay,
she's
the tone is a wee bit different.
Sid. Wee bit, Sid.
A wee bit. Well, it's based in England. So as I've said before, unfortunately the suicide rate among men in England is staggeringly high. And so
crazy,
the gentleman who started it wanted to do something. And the goal is to bring stories of men who have had therapy and what the benefit of therapy was, what they're doing now, how well they're doing now, so that people who are out there in the dark can see, okay, I can feel as good as this guy if I just ask. That's the goal. They don't even ask. So, and then episode 4 that's coming out. Now he's releasing them. The guy he's releasing, I send them to him, and he decides when to release them. Next guy we have is Ryan Harland. He wrote a book that I read, and so we interview him. So he's
that's
very
fantastic. Are you having fun doing it?
I am. It's really neat. It's funny because English, humor out of England, they can tell. I don't
it's
get
different.
it.
A
little different.
I'm like, and so it's fun because like, how would I ever connect with people in England?
I know.
I know. That's the beauty
so
of this
The
kind of
internet
stuff.
makes the world
man.
smaller.
Yeah,
It's
for
good.
sure,
It,
for sure.
It's
It
bad,
does.
but it's good.
It
For
can be
this
bad.
kind of stuff, it's very
Anthony,
good.
you got anything to promote? Push out?
Yes. Well, okay. Promote, shameless plug. Go check out the King's Cast.
Yes.
Latest episode with Sally Holdell was pretty good. Pretty good.
good.
So you can
I
go
watched
check
it.
that out on
Very
YouTube at
good.
the King's Cast. That was pretty good. Thank you, Stacey. I have a couple of. I was doing some television surfing the other day. And I
Okay.
came across 2 Rocky kind of spoof references on 2 of these
Really?
pretty well-known shows. Yeah. One is the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So I'm going to play these real quick clips.
Oh, cool.
The
Sure.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I remember this one when I was a kid. And I just saw it again the other day. So I'm going to play this quick clip of their little Rocky spin here. Check this out. That was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air version. I don't really
Mickey.
I don't like Rocky spoofs, but that one was done in a cute way. I remember that as a kid when I was a kid.
Right.
The second one is actually a really good one. This is from the King of Queens. Again, I saw this the other day. And this one was
did a
actually,
bunch. Yeah.
He did a bunch, but this one was actually done in, it's not a funny way. It was actually done in kind of like an homage way. So this is the King of Queens. Check this one out.
Yeah, that would be real convenient for you, wouldn't it? You leave for a few days, you bounce around the outside world for a while like that bird who's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and then you just waltz back in. Well, you know what, Arthur? Take my basement back. It's yours. You know what? Fine, take it. And while you're at it, why don't you take the TV too, and the foosball table, and hey, the couch. It's yours. It's all yours. Hey, take my mustard stained Jets blanket, huh? Oh, and my baseball encyclopedia. Oh, and my X-rated video with the label "Bad News Bears Go to Japan so Gary won't notice it." Take it all, Arthur. Hey, what else can I get for you? Hey, do you want the flooring? Because I could rip up the carpet. Come on, what else can I give you? How about my kidneys? Come on, I have 2. What the hell? Take them both, Arthur. God, why should I have anything, right? All I do is go to work every day and pay my mortgage on time. And when it's not on time, it's certainly within the grace period. But I guess that means nothing. Nothing. And you know what? That's fine. I'll just be a guy going through life with no basement and no kidneys.
Wow. That
Some
was
of my
cool.
favorite moments.
That was really well done. Yeah. So I think Kevin James is a really, really big Rocky fan.
He's funny.
Did you ever
He's done
see
more than one. He's done more than one.
He's done a lot during King of Queens.
Yeah.
But did you ever see, just like it was during COVID. He did this. He did the sound engineer guy.
Oh yes,
where
yes,
he's holding the
he's
boom
guy.
Okay, and
right.
then he fixes the lighting,
right,
and he does a backdrop, and he puts the very scene where Rocky's yelling at his kid, ain't about how hard you hit, and then he's so he has the camera filming him. Then it cuts to Stallone doing the speech, and it cuts back to Kevin James, who's not in Rocky Balboa, and he's getting all misty, and he keeps dropping the boom. What a great scene. I think Sly posted that on his Instagram.
Oh, did he? We should try to find that. We should try to find that and put that up.
We ought to put that up again for fans to see. Because that's definitely worth it. That's one of the creative things that came out of COVID.
Yeah, that was really funny. He's done a few. He did another episode where he named his dog Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember?
Right. You see the one where he gets stuck in the attic and he's getting delirious? Hey, my house? You don't like my house?
Yeah, you don't like my house?
Yeah. And do you remember who his best friend one of his best friends were, like in the first 2 seasons? I don't know if you remember Larry Romano. He was the Italian guy with
the Italian guy. Right.
That was first base from Lockup. That's the guy that Sonny Latham kills. They crack his chest open. Hey, girls, how you doing?
Yeah,
and called him first base in the jail movie. Yeah,
right.
so and
it's been a long time since we've seen that. Yeah,
great connection. I never would have.
Larry Romano, I think was his name. I could be wrong on the last name, but anyways.
I know the guy you're talking about. I don't even remember his name in the show, but just some things I came across while surfing the tube of Rocky related. So
that was great.
They're out there. They're out there. Anthony, anything you're promoting before we get out of here tonight?
Nope, that's pretty much it. I did it already. How about you? Mike?
Me? So the Yo Philly Rocky Film Tour. I got a book called there it is.
Yes,
Rocky
which
Music.
we heard a little bit today.
Appreciate that. There's a movie on Amazon that's going very well called The Pretender. My good friend and director Jim Toscano put that together.
Gotta get him on.
We gotta get Toscano on. This guy, he's hysterical, and I love his accent. He's got the hard R, because he's out in the Midwest. I lost my car keys near the bar at the park. And Boston is the opposite. I lost my car keys at the back.
I don't know. I do a mean Boston. Yeah.
See, now that would be funny. We gotta get you as Arnold doing a mean Boston.
Hey, work on that. Work on that for next week. Man, guys, this was a blast.
This was so fantastic. I'm so glad we're able to do it. And maybe this might be a new format where we, when things come up last minute, we have to juggle around. Maybe Tuesday night won't always be the drop night.
Yeah,
maybe we'll have to move things around sometimes.
Yeah, I like times things happen. At times things happen. We're learning to be a little bit more flexible, I think. So bear with us. I think it helps with pressure. We may switch, it helps with the pressure.
Takes the pressure off.
Yeah, it does. So, stay with us. If we're not on Tuesday, we're going to be on Thursday. So
we'll be here.
We'll be here. We're like Cheers. The bar's not going anywhere. We're going to be around. So
that's true.
Whether you find us, one night or not, we're around somewhere.
Guys, thank you so much. Guys. I will talk to you next week. Like we always say, keep punching. Booyah. See you guys.
Bye.